and welcome to 104.2 Sports Talk. I'm your host, Gage Secor, here with Diego Allen and Jonathan Gurley. Today we are going to talk about who we think the AL MVP is, Mookie Betts or Aaron Judge, what we think about the Nets and Lakers trade, and who will win NBA Sixth Man of the Year. First, we will start off with who we think will be the AL MVP. What is your thought, Jonathan?
Mookie Betts.
I think it will be Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I think it'll be Aaron Judge.
I think it will be Aaron Judge because Aaron Judge has done better than Mookie Betts in all the major categories. He's done better in RBI, batting average, OBP, OPS, and the only place that Mookie Betts outdoes him in offensive stats is stolen bases.
Well, just because he might lead in home runs doesn't make him better, because Eric Thames led in home runs at the beginning of the year, and he's not even close to being MVP in contention. And that's why I think Mookie Betts will win it, is because he can run. That's why he leads in stolen bases. He has a good arm in the outfield, and he can hit. He might not have as many home runs as Aaron Judge, but he can still hit home runs.
I'm not talking about home runs. Judge completely outranks him in OPS, on-base percentage, average, RBIs, home runs, all those major hitting categories. His on-base percentage is about 444, and his average is 333, where Mookie Betts' average is 252.
How good is Judge's defense? You have to have defense too.
Judge is a decent defensive player.
He only has 3 outfield assists this year. Mookie has 10.
So that might just be because he's had better pitching.
Because Judge?
Because he's had really good pitching from Tanaka and their bullpen this year.
Tanaka's not having a good year this year. He has an 8.25 ERA. In his last 10 starts, he's 1-9.
All right. Let's switch to what we think about the Lakers-Nets trade.
I think it was a really good trade for the Lakers, bringing in Brook Lopez. I feel like he's better than Timofey Mozgov, and now that they got rid of D'Angelo Russell, now we know that in the draft they're obviously going to get a guard, most likely in Lonzo Ball.
What do you think, Jonathan?
I agree with Diego. I think it was a good trade for both teams, because that gives the Lakers 3 first-round picks. It gives them the 2nd pick, 27th pick, and the 28th pick. So they get back-to-back picks. So they don't have to worry about who they're taking that late to get taken before them when they get that pick. And the Lakers actually get a good center, because Timothy Mozgov did not do that good. But I just don't like the point that they traded D'Angelo Russell.
Well, I actually think it was smart to get rid of D'Angelo Russell. One, I think all they're trying to do is get rid of as much cap space as possible, because Timothy Mozgov had about $48 million over the next 3 years, and that'd be really hard to go get Paul George if they were to keep Timothy Mozgov. So I think getting Brook Lopez was a smart move.
Do you think they'll sign Paul George or try and trade for Paul George?
I think they'll sign Paul George, because I don't think they're willing to give up the number 2 pick or Brandon Ingram or any of their young pieces.
I think it would make sense for them to trade for him, because who knows if he goes out to a free agency, another team could sign him, like the Celtics, the Cavs.
I know, but it's been reported that Paul George wants to go back home. He wants to play for the Lakers. So
but there's also been reports that he wants to play for the Cavs too.
I know, but if he could get the big money, I bet the whole story of him going home would outweigh him going to the Cavs and joining a super team.
Because that would be
Well, if he wanted to join a super team, then he can just do what everybody does, join the Warriors.
Not everybody's done that.
Kevin Durant's done it.
But he's not everybody.
So.
All right, now let's switch to who we think will be the NBA Sixth Man of the Year.
I think it's going to be Lou Williams.
I think it will be Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, I think it's Andre Iguodala.
Because I feel like he's on a super team. The reason not many people talk about him is because he's not scoring as much as he has the past few years because of the new addition of Kevin Durant, so he doesn't get the same minutes and the same shot attempts. But I feel like he still has posted really good numbers off the bench with assists and rebounds, and though his points total has gone down, I feel like his defensive ability has really helped the Warriors this year.
Well, I think it's Lou Williams because in his first 12 games with the Rockets, he averaged at least 27 points off the bench. And that's very good for somebody who's on the bench. Usually that's like what James Harden or somebody like that will get in a game.
Well, can you tell me what was his points per game by the end of the year?
Yeah.
That was the first 7 games. There's still
That's the first 12
games. Yeah.
well, the first 12 games. There's still another 7
By
games
the end
to
of the
go.
season, he was, well, they traded for Lou Williams at the middle of the year.
Okay, what was he averaging?
Around the end, it was 17 points per game.
Yeah, that's good, but he didn't have the same numbers as Iguodala with assists or rebounds. And Iguodala's, to me, he seems like Iguodala's a better defender, and that I feel like they're both good at running an offense, and that they both give you good minutes on the floor. But I feel like Iguodala kind of jumps ahead of Lou Williams, not because he's not scoring as much. It's because he's on a team where he doesn't need to score as much for them to win. But I feel like the Warriors are a
score
team.
enough points, then how are they going to win?
Because the other players are going to score.
So
But he's a back. He's not starting, which means the starters are still going to get more points.
Yeah, and I feel like
but you need points from the bench too. You can't just start your stars the entire game.
I know, but like if he doesn't get as many points, the other starters can still get points.
Yeah, and they had a good bench. They had Sean Livingston. They had a decent backup center, and I think they had Henderson Varejao for half the year. And I feel
But how good is Anderson Varejao?
he's a good defensive center.
Wait. Yeah.
And
Huh?
I didn't think.
I didn't think.
and I think
It
Iguodala-
was last year that they had him.
and I think
I didn't think ever seeing Varejao as a good center.
and I think Andre Iguodala, they could trust him to defend those people like the. All right, that's all we have today. Join us back on 104.2 Sports Talk.